You've probably seen the advertisements. Detox teas, liver cleanse supplements, special pills promising to flush toxins from your liver in just days. The marketing is everywhere, and the message is compelling. Your liver is full of toxins, and you need these products to clean it out. But here's what most people don't understand. Your liver doesn't store toxins waiting to be flushed out. That's not how liver detoxification actually works.
My name is David. I'm a general practitioner working at Mayo Clinic in the United States. Over the years, I've watched countless patients waste money on detox products they don't need, while missing the simple dietary changes that could genuinely protect their liver from damage.
What you're about to learn isn't about quick fixes or miracle cures. It's about understanding what your liver actually does, why it becomes damaged in the first place, and which foods have been scientifically proven to help protect and restore liver function. No supplements required, no expensive cleanses, just evidence-based nutrition that supports one of your body's most remarkable organs. After watching this, you'll understand the real mechanism behind liver health and why the concept of liver detox has been fundamentally misunderstood by the wellness industry.
Let me start by clearing up the biggest misconception. Your liver is not a storage tank for toxins. Think of your liver as a processing plant, not a warehouse. Every single day, your liver is actively breaking down and eliminating substances that could harm your body. Alcohol, medications, metabolic waste products, environmental chemicals. It's working constantly, filtering your blood and converting harmful compounds into forms that can be safely eliminated through your urine or stool.
When we talk about liver detox, we're really talking about something entirely different. We're talking about protecting your liver from damage, so it can continue doing its job effectively. The liver doesn't need to be cleansed. It needs to be protected. And when it does get damaged, it needs the right nutritional building blocks to heal itself.
Here's what actually happens when your liver gets overwhelmed. When you consistently expose your liver to substances it has to process, excessive alcohol, high fructose corn syrup, certain medications, environmental toxins, the liver cells themselves can become injured. This injury triggers inflammation. Over time, repeated inflammation leads to scarring, which we call fibrosis. If the damage continues, that fibrosis progresses to cirrhosis, where normal liver tissue is replaced by scar tissue that can't perform liver functions. In the most severe cases, this can even lead to liver cancer.
The key point here is that liver damage is a progressive process. It doesn't happen overnight. And at every stage, except the most advanced, your liver has a remarkable capacity to heal itself if you give it what it needs.
So when we talk about foods that support liver health, we're really talking about two things. First, foods that help reduce the oxidative stress and inflammation that damage liver cells. And second, foods that provide the nutrients liver cells need to repair and regenerate. That's the real science behind liver health.
Let's start with a food you might already be eating: avocados. You probably know avocados are good for heart health because of their healthy fats, particularly omega-3 fatty acids, and their powerful antioxidant content. But what many people don't know is that avocados have been specifically studied for their ability to protect and heal liver tissue.
Here's the research that changed how I think about avocados. Scientists conducted a study where they deliberately damaged the livers of laboratory animals using a toxic compound, something we obviously can't do in human studies. Then they tested 20 different fruits to see which ones would help the liver heal most effectively. They measured liver enzymes, looked at liver tissue under microscopes, and tracked the recovery process.
Avocados came out on top. Among all the fruits tested, avocados showed the most significant protective effect against liver injury. The liver cells healed faster, inflammation decreased more rapidly, and liver function markers improved more dramatically than with any other fruit.
Why? Avocados contain compounds that directly combat oxidative stress, the chemical process that damages liver cells. They're rich in glutathione, a molecule that's absolutely critical for liver detoxification pathways. They also contain vitamin E, which protects cell membranes from damage, and monounsaturated fats that reduce inflammatory signaling.
The practical application is straightforward. Adding avocado to your daily diet, whether sliced on toast, blended in smoothies, mixed into salads, or eaten on its own, provides your liver with concentrated liver protective compounds. This isn't just beneficial for people with existing liver disease, like fatty liver, hepatitis, or cirrhosis. Even if your liver is healthy, regular avocado consumption helps protect it from the daily oxidative stress caused by normal metabolism, environmental exposures, and the occasional indulgences we all enjoy.
One medium avocado a day could be one of the most liver-protective dietary choices you make. And unlike supplements, you're getting a whole food with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and other beneficial compounds that work together synergistically. The second food might surprise you by how common it is: garlic. Most people think of garlic as an antimicrobial, something that fights infections and supports immune function. And that's absolutely true. Garlic contains allicin and other sulfur compounds that act like natural antibiotics, which is why traditional medicine has long recommended garlic for colds, flu, and viral infections.
But garlic does something else that's equally important for liver health. It's one of the most potent naturally occurring antioxidants we can consume, and antioxidants are critical for liver protection.
Here's what happens at the cellular level. When your liver processes toxins, it generates reactive oxygen species, essentially highly unstable molecules that can damage liver cell DNA, proteins, and membranes. This oxidative damage is a major driver of liver disease progression. Garlic's sulfur compounds neutralize these reactive molecules before they can cause harm. Research has specifically examined garlic's effects on various forms of liver disease: fatty liver, alcoholic liver disease, viral hepatitis, and drug-induced liver injury. Across multiple studies, garlic consumption has been associated with reduced liver enzyme elevations, decreased fat accumulation in liver cells, and slower progression of liver fibrosis. There's actually an entire body of scientific literature dedicated to garlic's hepatoprotective effects. The mechanism is well understood. Garlic enhances the liver's own antioxidant defense systems, particularly glutathione production. It also has direct anti-inflammatory effects that reduce the immune response that damages liver tissue. The best way to use garlic? Ideally, you want to consume it raw or lightly cooked. The allicin that gives garlic its therapeutic properties is most potent when garlic is crushed or chopped and allowed to sit for about 10 minutes before eating. You can add it to salad dressings, mix it into dips, or incorporate it into dishes at the end of cooking. Yes, raw garlic can cause bad breath, but that's a small price to pay for significant liver protection. And honestly, good dental hygiene and breath mints can manage that side effect pretty easily. The bottom line, if you're serious about liver health, make garlic a daily part of your diet. It's one of the most accessible, affordable, and scientifically validated liver protective foods available. The third food brings up an important point about liver detoxification that most people don't understand. Not all toxins are processed and eliminated at the same speed. Your liver can break down and eliminate most food-derived substances within a day or two, but certain toxins, particularly heavy metals like mercury, lead, cadmium, and arsenic, can persist in your body for weeks, months, or even years. These metals accumulate in liver tissue and cause ongoing oxidative damage even at low levels. Where do these heavy metals come from? Unfortunately, they're more common than you'd think. Mercury accumulates in certain fish, particularly large predator fish and bottom feeders that live in contaminated waters. Lead can leach from old pipes into drinking water. Cadmium is found in cigarette smoke and some foods grown in contaminated soil. We're exposed to low levels of these metals throughout our lives, and our livers bear the burden of trying to eliminate them. This is where turmeric becomes particularly valuable. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound that has been extensively studied for its ability to protect liver cells against heavy metal toxicity. Research shows that curcumin reduces the oxidative stress caused by heavy metals and helps prevent the liver inflammation that leads to fibrosis.
But here's what makes turmeric even more interesting. It doesn't just protect against heavy metal damage. Studies have shown that turmeric can benefit people with fatty liver disease, alcoholic liver disease, and even drug-induced liver injury. It's a broad-spectrum liver protector. How should you use turmeric? You have several options. You can use fresh turmeric root in cooking, grated into curries, soups, or rice dishes. You can make turmeric tea by steeping sliced turmeric in hot water. Or you can use high-quality turmeric powder as a spice. Some people prefer curcumin supplements, which provide higher concentrations of the active compound, but whole turmeric contains other beneficial compounds that work synergistically with curcumin. One important note is that curcumin is poorly absorbed on its own. To enhance absorption, always consume turmeric with black pepper, which contains piperine, a compound that increases curcumin bioavailability by up to 2,000%. Also, since curcumin is fat-soluble, consuming it with a small amount of healthy fat further improves absorption. If you're concerned about environmental toxin exposure, and given our modern environment, we all should be at least somewhat concerned, adding turmeric to your daily routine provides an additional layer of liver protection that goes beyond basic nutrition. Now, we get to food number 4, which you've probably heard as healthy, but might not understand why it's specifically important for liver function: cruciferous vegetables. This family includes broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and kale. But there's one particular member of this family that deserves special attention: broccoli sprouts. Broccoli sprouts, the tiny seedlings that emerge from broccoli seeds, contain extraordinarily high concentrations of a compound called sulforaphane. And sulforaphane does something remarkable. It directly enhances your liver's detoxification capacity. Here's the mechanism. Your liver detoxifies substances through a series of chemical reactions called phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification pathways. Sulforaphane activates the genes that produce the enzymes for phase 2 detoxification, the step where toxins are converted into water-soluble compounds that can be eliminated through urine or bile. By upregulating these enzymes, sulforaphane literally increases your liver's throughput capacity. It's like upgrading your liver's processing power. Research on cruciferous vegetables has consistently shown benefits for liver health. Studies have found that regular consumption of these vegetables is associated with reduced risk of fatty liver disease, lower liver enzyme levels in people with existing liver disease, and improved liver function markers. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Broccoli sprouts are bitter, and not everyone enjoys that taste. Here's the good news. If you blanch them quickly in boiling water for 30 seconds to a minute, much of the bitterness disappears while preserving the beneficial compounds. You can add them to salads, sandwiches, or stir-fries. If you truly can't tolerate broccoli sprouts, regular broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables still provide benefits, just at lower concentrations of sulforaphane. The key is regular consumption. Try to include at least one serving of cruciferous vegetables in your diet daily. These vegetables aren't just about what they add, they're about what they help your body eliminate. In our modern world, we're exposed to countless chemicals through food, water, air, and personal care products. Your liver is your first line of defense against these exposures. Supporting its detoxification capacity through dietary choices is one of the smartest preventive health strategies you can employ. The final food category might seem counterintuitive when we're talking about liver health: fats, specifically monounsaturated fatty acids found in olive oil and certain other plant oils. Many people assume that all fats are bad for the liver, especially if you've been diagnosed with fatty liver disease. But science tells a different story. The type of fat matters enormously. Fatty liver disease, where fat accumulates in liver cells, has become an epidemic in the United States, affecting roughly 25% of adults. It's strongly associated with obesity, diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. And while the standard advice is to lose weight and reduce overall fat intake, research has shown that not all fats affect the liver equally. Studies specifically examining monounsaturated fats, particularly from olive oil, have found something surprising.
These fats actually reduce liver fat accumulation. In controlled trials where people with fatty liver disease were assigned to different dietary fats, those consuming olive oil showed greater reductions in liver fat content compared to those consuming other types of fats or oils.
Why would fat help reduce fatty liver? The mechanism is complex, but it involves how monounsaturated fats influence insulin sensitivity, inflammatory signaling, and lipid metabolism. Unlike saturated fats and trans fats, which promote inflammation and insulin resistance, monounsaturated fats have anti-inflammatory properties and improve the way cells respond to insulin. This helps prevent additional fat from being deposited in the liver and allows existing liver fat to be mobilized and burned for energy.
The practical recommendation is this: use extra virgin olive oil as your primary cooking and salad oil. Choose the highest quality you can afford. Extra virgin olive oil contains additional antioxidant compounds called polyphenols that provide extra liver protection. You can also get monounsaturated fats from avocados, which we already discussed, nuts like almonds and macadamias, and canola oil. One important note: for maximum benefit, use olive oil in its raw form, drizzled on salads, vegetables, or bread, rather than cooking it at very high temperatures, which can degrade some of its beneficial compounds. When you do cook with it, use medium heat. If you've been diagnosed with fatty liver disease, don't fear all fats. Replacing saturated and trans fats in your diet with monounsaturated fats from olive oil and other sources can be a powerful strategy for improving liver health. Combined with moderate calorie reduction and increased physical activity, this dietary change can lead to significant improvements in liver fat content and liver enzyme levels within just a few months.
So let's bring this all together. You don't need expensive supplements, detox teas, or liver cleanses. What you need is an understanding of how your liver actually works and which foods provide the nutrients and compounds your liver needs to protect itself and heal from damage.
The 5 foods we've discussed, avocados, garlic, turmeric, cruciferous vegetables, and monounsaturated fats from olive oil, aren't magical. They're not going to undo years of poor health habits overnight, but they are scientifically validated, accessible, and affordable foods that support liver function through multiple mechanisms: reducing oxidative stress, decreasing inflammation, enhancing detoxification pathways, and providing the building blocks for liver cell repair and regeneration.
Think about it this way. Your liver is constantly working to protect you. Every minute of every day, it's filtering your blood, neutralizing harmful compounds, producing essential proteins, and regulating your metabolism. It does this without you even thinking about it. The least we can do is provide it with the nutritional support it needs to keep functioning optimally for decades to come.
This matters because liver disease has become one of the leading causes of chronic illness and mortality in the United States. Fatty liver disease, alcoholic liver disease, viral hepatitis, drug-induced liver injury, these conditions affect tens of millions of Americans. And while some liver disease requires medical treatment, much of it is preventable through lifestyle choices.
And if you're concerned about your liver health, maybe you drink alcohol regularly, take medications that affect the liver, have been diagnosed with fatty liver, or simply want to protect your liver as a preventative measure, these foods provide a foundation. They won't replace medical care when it's needed, but they support your liver's natural protective and healing mechanisms.
Your liver is one of the most resilient organs in your body. It can regenerate damaged tissue. It can recover from significant injury if given the chance. But it needs your help. It needs you to make choices that protect it rather than constantly challenge it. So give your liver what it needs, not through expensive detox programs, but through thoughtful, evidence-based nutrition. Your liver has been taking care of you your entire life. Now it's time to return the favor.